Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today we have very interesting deck. The deck that not only is interesting, but it actually seems to smash the ladder completely. We are at 71% win rate in 7 games. And man, I can see where it's coming from. Like the deck has a lot of very strong synergies, feels really solid because of the few reasons, and we will talk about it more in the deck intro, so stay tuned. And yeah, those are the results. It's in diamonds, so pretty telling about the power level of the deck. And yeah, definitely a lot of cards that give this result. So I think that with that being said, let's go into the deck list and see what's exactly up. Alright, and now we are in the deck, and I'm actually excited to share this one with you guys quite a lot, even though this is definitely not the type of colors we play, this is definitely not the type of deck I play, because it's creatures, yak, but honestly, after playing with this deck, it's actually really fun. I really like playing a lot of lands and making a huge creatures that have insane effects. And this is basically what this deck does. It's a bit of a ramp. We have some ramp elements. So we have, as you said, many journeys, Innkeeper, and the Florahedron. So not the all in on the ramp, but we have this one little ramp, and this is because we have a lot of 4-drops, as you can see, and all of those 4-drops are huge, like they pack a punch, especially the Chariot. So this is why we have this one ramp that gets us into 4 and 5 mana slots so much faster. So with that being said, we have quite heavy removal, which is a really good part of the deck. Against some matchups, you cannot really win if you don't hit removal. So we have Cycle of Confinement, Touch of the Spirit Realm, and the Apparition. Touch of the Spirit Realm is amazing in this deck for two reasons. First, it's a removal, that's something we need. But the channel effect has so much synergies because we have quite a lot of creatures that benefit from enter the battlefield. We have Yasharn, we have Chariot, we have Legion Angel, the least one, let's be honest, and the Innkeeper. Don't be surprised. Blinking the Innkeeper actually won us some games, because it not only saves the creature against any kind of removal, it also gives you this one extra mana that will be used to make some game-changing play. And let's see exactly what the finishers are. Our mid-game is extremely strong, I would say. Esika Chariot, the card that we all know and love and hate, is just insanely powerful. Yasharn, one of the cards that I really like. So it's basically a stat block of 4 mana for 4. The sacrifice is relevant, especially against like Rakdos decks or even treasure decks. They cannot sacrifice treasures. Players cannot sacrifice non-land permanents to cast abilities or activate abilities. Cast spells, I don't know if I said it right. So activating the treasure ability is a sacrifice to get ability, so they cannot use their treasures. That's huge, and this begs for removal, and this card has 4 toughness, but the main part is drawing this 2 basic lands, and that's huge. Like, this makes your curve so much better, and what more, very often you can ramp into the Yasharn with the Innkeeper, so you basically trade this one time mana of a treasure into a permanent land, and you also ensure the next land drop. That's insane, and it fixes you so many games. Like, with some decks I have this problem that you either draw lands or you draw a non-land card, and basically you always need to find this balance, and some of the games you just lose because you didn't hit the right part. And with this deck it happens much more rarely, because we have so much, like, additional mana, thanks to Yasharn, basically, because that's a huge one. The other one is Ren, of course, because it can also search you for lands, but this is so important card that we probably use it for different reasons. Alright, and the reason you are here, it took a while, but we got there, the top of the deck. What do we have as a rewards for this one? We have the Ayo, the Downsky, a very strong creature that basically puts 2+1/+1 counters on each permanent you control, that's a creature or vehicle, and we go pretty wide with this deck actually. Even like the Chariot with cats, it's already 3 creatures on the board. So if you follow it up with the Downsky, you get like a lot of counters. And the second ability is the more important one. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put any number of non-land permanent cards with total mana value 4 or less into the battlefield. Yeah, so basically when it dies, it can get you Chariot, and then enemy has an even bigger problem than he had originally. So that's a pretty irritating creature to deal with. They need Vanishing Verse or something like this, or they are in huge trouble. Kura, the Boundless Sky, it's a card that not used a lot, but in this deck it really works. So first of all, it can give you lands if you really need them. But usually you just go for the tempo and then value, and you just go for the XX Spirit Creature token. And it's usually something between 6 and 8 in power. And don't forget, you can start copying it with the Chariot, which is huge. The fact that you can, enemy removes your big 5-drop, then something is left, and you can just copy the token with the Chariot, will be game winning if you get this situation. And we know that Chariot is really hard to remove, right? So yeah, you can even use the Spirit to crew the Chariot then, and it's still worth it. So really interesting card in this deck, and I think one of the few where it works. And the big finishers for the deck: Storm the Festival, Emeria Call. Storm the Festival is the big one, because basically all your deck is 5 or 4 drops, whatever, like the cards that you want to hit. And we have a lot of those, so Storm the Festival doesn't really whiff very often, and nearly all of the cards are really like big hits. So if you put double dragon with this, man, like you are set for the game. Enemy needs double Vanishing Verse or he loses basically. And with all the Yasharn lands, with all the Innkeeper treasures, Azusa Many Journeys ramp, we have quite easy way of using the Storm the Festival for its flashback cost. Like we can cast it on turn 8 quite comfortably very often. So this gives you so much value that you just overwhelm the enemy. And I like about this deck also the fact that you have different types. Yeah, you can get swept, but look, with the dragons, sweeping is not a problem. Like you just get different creatures after sweep. You have Ren and 7 that you can keep with -3 just to ensure that you get the tokens. You have the Chariot that doesn't die to any kind of sweeper. So even if the enemy sweeps, it still doesn't end you the game. You don't mind, you just go another Storm the Festival, another dragon, another whatever. Emeria Call means that all the other creatures are indestructible, so then the sweeper doesn't really do anything. Like the deck is so obnoxious to deal with, especially when we get going, that this is why the results are so good. And also what I have seen after playing the deck, this is one of the decks that puts the most, like the most huge stat block in the game. Like when you cast Ren, you make the token, and then you already have Esika Chariot from the previous turn, and you start attacking, you will see it in one of the games, like how much power we can make. And you know, those tokens get bigger the more lands you have. And then, oh man, in this deck we can put so many lands into play, even in one turn, because we have Ren, so we can buff every Treefork by like +4 quite easily. So the deck feels really strong, it's really decent, and I know also in Mythic it performs really well. So generally that's something that you can choose definitely for laddering. It's enjoyable, it's fun. I really enjoyed my games with this one. And yeah, you can put so much stats in the game that the enemy just cannot deal with this. It's mostly due to Chariot. Chariot is extremely big part of the deck, and the second one is Storm the Festival. The rest of the deck is basically built around it. Even like small Legion Angel. If you can hit Legion Angel from this, basically you get 16 mana drop in the end, after losing a creature, right? So it's pretty insane. And I think the deck is really strong. It is really strong. 71% win rate is about right if you drive it well, and especially in Diamond. So try it if you like control. I don't know, I like control, but I enjoy this deck quite a lot. So maybe give it a try. And that's it from my side. Thank you for everyone who subscribed so far. I know that you guys liked the last Dimir deck, so really thank you for this one. I had a blast making and playing with those. And as always, if you like this kind of decks, or even experimenting like today with the green and white for some reason, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the comments. I really like the I support Sloth comment, so thank you for this one as well. The Sloth icon was cute. And really thank you guys. The feedback is always great, and it's pleasure to have you on the channel. So with that being said, let's go into the games and see how they went. Well, that's definitely a slow hand. But we have infinity lands, so like we have a lot of power for the late game. Let's try it, you know? Maybe we draw something. Oh man, we have double beholder. This one likes us, this one hates us. Alright, let's start with this. So we are keeping Emeria core most likely. We just need to hit one single land, and we can start going with Yasharn. Oh man, that's actually so amazing. Alright, I'm starting to be a believer. Let's go for green for now. Let's play this one. Let's play some additional lands. And we will pay 3 life if we have to, but maybe we just, you know, draw something. And then play Yasharn. Easy. Completely easy and predicted. And now we have Yasharn and so much mana. Alright, which one we need? We have 3 green, we have 3 white. So let's go half and half. Alright. Jiggly jiggle. Man, I love those sleeves. They're so hilarious. Like peak of entertainment. Wedding announcement compared to our behemoths. Man, enemy is in quite a bit of trouble, I would say. It has to be the Chariot, right? Like there is a world where we just touch the realm. If he blocks, it will be Yasharn, so we don't get... Oh, never mind, it's Summoning Sickness. Oh man, like Esika's Chariot is giving so much power. It's so tempting. Next time we go storm the festival. Yeah, it's probably always Chariot. And we should definitely attack first. But you know, you don't need to be a great player, right? Why would you be a great player when you can be a bad one? Alright. We light the stuff in the meantime. Enemy is thinking hard. He shouldn't block. He's at 20. No reason to do it really at the moment. And his tokens will only get better and bigger. So I do want him to trade, but we will see if he will. It seems that he's a bit slow on this one, so let's cut. Oh, maybe not. Let's not cut. Smart decision. Alright, and if he wants to remove something from our side, we just screw the Chariot, probably. Oh, nice. Is this the Chariot battle? But we are pretty ahead right now. Also, we get the tokens a bit faster, so that's pretty huge. Circle of Confinement, like our removal is pretty amazing here. Alright, let's play this. Oh man, how do we play this? We probably should storm the festival first, because then if the Seeker is blocked, then we untap and can play the removal also. That seems okay, and whatever we hit, it can crew the Chariot, right? So, let's storm this festival. It's legendary, but we get the cats, right? So it's still good. And the removal is pretty sweet. So we take this one without the summoning sickness, of course, and it doesn't matter. Alright. So do we go for the Chariot? We probably should, right? It's pretty good. And yeah, I forgot that we cannot target Wedding Announcement because it's just Artifactor creature, so my bad on this one. And here comes the cats. Also it means that we can crew Chariot for free basically. and make such insane attack that enemy does not have a lot of time. He can double block this, but that means we untap. And the rest of double blocks aren't amazing. Let's make more cats. We just have 10-10 in stats and cats. And if enemy trades now, before the wedding announcement triggers, it's very good for us, because his creatures will be stronger later. That's perfect. We have another Yasharn that we want to play. Enemy is at 9 compared to our crazy huge board. And as you can see, he didn't want to block it. He could double block it and get better trade because we kill one and he kills one. But he didn't want us to untap because we get additional play. Well, that's a pretty good one. But it means that the Chariot is there. What more? We can go for Emeria Call. Man, we have so much stuff. We didn't hit the land, right? We don't have the 7th land, we didn't hit it. Yeah, Yasharn is... yeah, we play this. Like, when you don't know what to do, all you need to do is play more Chariots. That seems to always be the winning play. This way we can crew right now and attack with this one. This block is pretty horrible, so I don't think we need to go for the removal of any kind. And this is again 10-10 in stats on the board, back after mid-hook. Mid-hook really did hurt, but you know, we need to work around it. We probably want to cast a Miracle next turn, but we can just bring this, right? Yeah, so it's basically an instant removal. I think that we should hit the lands very soon. The other line of playing would be to play Yasharn and go into Storm the Festival, Emeria Call, things like this, but then we lose a lot of power. Like, this is 10-10 in stats, this is 4-4. So, you know, pretty huge difference. If he's making a 3-fork, he will regret it so fast. Oh man, he won't be happy about what's coming. And this is also a good reason to not play Circle. Completely planned. Let's blink it. And you get it at the end step, right? Oh wait, you don't. Alright, let's go for white this time. We don't kill the enemy, right? And now we create angels. I didn't crew the Chariot now, because I want to have additional power for this attack. Alright. So this is 10. This is going here. This is going here. Do we want to kill Ren? I'm not sure, but we probably should, right? Let's make it like this. Let's copy the Angel, they seem pretty good. And he can sweep with the mid-hook Massacre, so that's a problem. Yeah, so he's taking... there is a chance it's another mid-hook. But you know, at some point it has to stop, I guess. Also, the Chariot won't be a creature. So, even if he mid-hooks, like, we can still keep attacking. It will be harder though. So I really hope he doesn't have another one. Of course he has. Oh man, like, it's just 14 cards from the top. I don't know how they do it. Like, not a single card draw. And still 2 of them. Even if he plays 4, he should have barely 1 so far. So that's pretty unfortunate. I could will go from there, but that's definitely not helping. So we go Yasharn, we start building toward the Storm the Festival. Let's get those. We have 4 mana. Yeah, artifact creature. We could blink Yasharn, but I don't see much value in this. We cannot make any tokens, so we just attack, right? And now we kill Ren, because he can make a token. And while we can blink the token, I would prefer to keep it for something else, because enemy is playing a lot of tokens. So it's basically like a 2 mana removal. Alright, let's see who has the better RNG. So far I can see who has. Alright, that's a pretty awful card overall. Yeah, you can see why it can be really bad. That's not really what we want. Do we blink Yasharn? No, we don't need more lands. And we still cannot... Oh man, I messed up. It should be probably... Well, we play this as a creature, but if it gets removed, we will really regret this one. Huh, can we do something? Not really. Not really. And probably I will blink my Yasharn. Beginning of next end step, not controllers. Because I want to be sure that we storm the festival next turn, probably. Alright, we can just attack with Yasharn. It's better to do it, because if he wants to remove it, we blink it. And with Esika's Chariot... Well, I guess... Alright, man, I actually didn't think of this one. We can blink the Chariot at the end step and create cats. Man, if I noticed this play earlier, we would probably win by now. That's really my bet. So we can crew it. Oh, we don't need to, because it can blink the artifact even. Enemy is just storming the festival over and over. Let's see what he gets this time. Man, if I did it before, we would probably win the game. Alright, that's not the best RNG, and we have perfect answer already. So we just kill him. Alright, he has also this token, but we can remove both. So, we blink this one. And we remove the other one. Enemy is tapped out, so we don't need to be careful about this one. Man, this was close, but definitely my big mistake was not blinking the Chariot earlier. Like, in this situation, and I guess won us the game also, because we could double remove the tokens, but it was pretty awful. Need to keep it in mind for the other games. Alright, so this hand is a bit sketchy, but we have the worst case plan of making 2 treasures with the Innkeepers and getting this 2 mana, casting Yasharn and then building from there. So even in the worst case, if we don't draw single land, we still have some plays. So I will go for this. And whenever in doubt, jiggle jiggle. And we are against Rakdos Anvil most likely. Let's go for green, because we definitely need 1 for the Innkeeper. And then we will see. Great, we have ramp. Congratulations, we can ramp. Yeah, that's the problem with Azusa's Mana Journeys. Sometimes you just hit it without a land. Okay, that's not the worst. And we are definitely gonna cast a lot of lands. Alright, do we pay 3? Like, we could get rid of the creature, but it's not going nighttime anytime soon, so I don't think we care. And yeah, let's play the thingy, because we really need lands. Alright, definitely green. And probably another green. Alright, we need... Yeah, oh man, I always take them. I actually forgot that you don't really have a choice. I'm such a good player. Yeah, because it's a forest and a basic plane, so you basically are forced to take them. Unless you don't have one of them, at least. But generally we need another forest, so we have 3 green, so we can, you know, go there. Alright, he cannot sacrifice stuff, so that's pretty good. Storm the festival. Good, 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 good. And we also start having some ramp. Yeah, it's untapped. So it's probably the apparition, right? We definitely play it. So what is the next turn? If we play the Innkeeper, we are guaranteed to storm the festival, but I think it's not the most important one. We have run in 7, so In the worst case, it's fine. We could go for the Trespasser, then we double attack, and we are like guaranteed to kill the op, and then this also dies. That's pretty good. We need to discard a card, but like we go for the Innkeeper and that's it. It's not the worst. We could also exile op, but then we give them more power in the board, so not really a fan of this one. Yep, I'm sure. It will be a pain, and I accept it. It's 2 toughness, so he cannot kill it, and now we overshoot it just to make sure that we kill it. Yeah, that's definitely not what you need. If anything, you block the Innkeeper and shoot our face. But then you have no board. Okay, this situation is way better than what we had last turn. Apparition is a little bit of a time bomb, so we need to be careful about this one. We gain some life. Harvester. Okay, so next turn we lose the Apparition. Good to know. And he might attack. We are never blocking this one. We could also get rid of the Harvester, which might be a pretty good play, honestly. Oh man, I want my land so much, but we probably played this as a land this turn. Next turn is Storm the Festival. I'm not sure if we have time for Ren. Maybe we should just get rid of this. Yeah, I think so. I'm not extremely sure about this play. If he has mid-hook, it will backfire so freaking much. But if he doesn't, and if he plays like this, it would suggest that he might not have it. And now we can attack his face, because that's the place. Also, we get a Zusa creature after he mid-hooks. It's still bad, but you know. Also, if he had mid-hook, he should block the Yasharn. So I'm hopeful. I have my fingers crossed. He doesn't have it. Even though in this kind of deck he probably should, right? Because he has so many creatures and he has black anyway. Okay, that was enough. I think this one turn, when we swing the Trespasser and the Planewalker into like graveyard basically, this is the turn that we swung the game basically. Alright, we are going first. It's interesting hand, we'll see how it goes. And I think right now, like we have Yasharn, we have 4 lands. I'm on the fence with Emeria's call. Let's start with this one. This is definitely something we want to play. Also, we might want double white for the Apparition. And this is Orzhov. Yeah, I think we play like this. We have 4 of them, so the next one will come along anyway. And we definitely don't want to whiff. That's a pretty good draw. That's a pretty good draw. Because we can play Boseiju, and it means that next turn we can play like Yasharn and also start playing another land, which is pretty good. Alright, enemy is thinking. Not sure what exactly about. March? It might be March, White March. Alright, this is definitely a threat. Alright, this is first choice of the game. We can go for the Apparition, but it's not much power. Like, definitely not a lot of power. We could go for a Esika Chariot for maximum power, but, well, then we play this as a land, right? Man, Esika Chariot always feels like a better choice. So he gets some life, but that's not a huge problem. What is the next angel they play? Either Disenchantment. Enchantment would be pretty brutal. I still think it's Chariot, probably. That's a pretty hard choice. We also get this on the next turn, so that's a bit of more power in the board. I really hope it's not enchantment, because it's basically a removal, and this will be harsh for us. On the bright side, they cannot target the Chariot, so that's also one of the upsides. Jiggle jiggle. But yeah, Angels, especially with opening Valkyrie, is so scary. And we cannot hit Lisa with Skyclave because it's mana cost 4 or less, and yeah, exactly. So it begins. It begins. Like, we could destroy this, but then we even build their power, so I'm not sure if it's good. And they can kill Apparition after we remove this. So they attack, they kill the Apparition. It might be harsh. Ran is pretty good draw. Man, I would love playing some more runs. We can definitely crew. If we play this, we can crew the Chariot nearly for free. We could also just play Ren and just go for the huge tree forks. You know what? It doesn't seem like an awful idea. Let's try this line. I do like this line of play. And this makes playing clans better. Let's do it like this. Cats can't attack anyway, so we don't extremely care. And no, you are not going there. One attacker. Now we get 10-10, and it will be hard for them. And if they want to go to 27, they need to block, probably. You know, I'm pretty happy about the outcome. And the Chariot is still here, so we can copy the tokens every single turn. So that basically gave us 10-10 in stats for 5 mana. That's pretty decent, I would say. Like, this is one of the powers for this deck. Like, it's just so packed with stats. Every creature is just creature and creature. Well, this will definitely be a thing. At least Exile doesn't trigger it. Alright, they also get the Angel when they play it. That's pretty brutal. And double strike next turn, so they will attack for quite a lot. Sure. It means that cannot block. And this cannot really hit anything. That's actually pretty good, honestly. My turn. Okay, that's a land, that's pretty sweet. Let's go for white. We definitely want a lot of white here. So we crow with the cats, right? Yeah, let's crew like this. And don't forget, those tree forks will become very big very quickly. That's an interesting decision, but I think we could buff them and attack, but we cannot kill the enemy anyway. So I think we just built a lot of them for the double strike turn. Alright, he realized that it's such a big problem that he needs to remove it. Yeah, because basically we are creating free 8-8 every single turn, and cats will be extremely good for sacrificing. Alright, that's a good start. So do we go for the Valkyrie? Honestly, I think that's a good choice. Entered battlefield. Alright, alright. But we can go around it. This is untapped, right? Oh, they are tapped. Okay. So if we play like Yasharn, we don't get the Apparition. You probably want the Apparition quite badly, right? If we play this, we build much more toward next turns. And this will create another tree fork like next turn if we +1. But man, the Apparition. I think we still go for the Apparition. It's just so freaking good. Because it prevents the life gain, it doesn't trigger the rampage, And he has one Angel for the double strike turn, so we are in no pressure to do anything basically. We can hit Storm the Festival as well. We didn't, but you know, that was a decent shot. You will see. We need to ramp a lot. We can even... Okay, we cannot, but we can play Yasharn, play this land, and then input on all the lands from the hand, so we can make those 3 forks really huge. I mean, like, really huge, 9-9. Alright, so enjoy your double strike. Let's see what he gets. This is actually pretty good. Like, he needs power on the board, not just, you know, card draw, and he has only 3 mana. Lisa would be huge pain, but our creatures are just so insanely big that they are just hard to, you know, block even. Rampage is just irritating as hell. Don't forget we can turn the Lair into creature. Alright, that's an interesting one. This has vigilance, so it's basically the same. Like whether we attack with this and he blocks, or we just do it like this. Well, I guess he doesn't get the double strike, but keeping Ren is worth it. At some point we will sacrifice the Lair, but for now the cat is okay. Man, cats are so useful to sacrificing. And this is my turn. Alright. Let's play this one. It's easier this way. Alright, so how do we do this? We could go for the huge Hydra, but it is probably better to do it this way. Also, this makes sure that, well, can't pay life or sacrifice. Let's read the card maybe. Okay, well, in a moment we will read the card. Can't pay life or sacrifice non-land permanents to cast spells or activate. So it's not casting spell, it's not activating ability, it's triggered one. So not what we exactly wanted. Yeah, let's make them a bit bigger, shall we? Definitely a bit more power on the board. And if he blocks, then we sacrifice Yasharn. And that's pretty sweet. Of course we don't really want to attack with the Apparition. It also basically disables his Valkyrie, like for future. So that's also pretty good. Oh, Vanishing Verse. Okay, okay. He's slowly trying to grind his way. It means that we probably make the token next turn, so we get this small power. Let's go for Yasharn, because we have another one that we want to play. So it's basically like a perfect target. But this rampage is just so painful overall. Alright, that's a 1-3. That's another 1-3. Yeah, we always have to go 2 for 1 basically, and that's a pain. Alright. Alright, so... I think we just need to go for Storm the Festival. Yeah, exactly, like this. Now we play it. So we get some creatures for removal. And we even take this one, because it's just, you know, something that is cheap and easy to sacrifice. We don't really care. We get rid of this one. It's exile effect, so we don't need to sacrifice anything, and then the Innkeeper is a thing that we sacrifice. Enemy is tapped out, so we are not scared to attack with Apparition right now. Man, the game is definitely looking good so far. Like, we look at this, we are trading every single time 2 for 1 and we can still keep up. That's the Innkeeper. I'm a bit scared, like, if he has another removal, then it's a bit of a problem. But he has only one card, so at some point he needs to whiff. Right, we can make a huge lair, right? This is tapped. This is... Oh, he has 0 card. Was this foretold? I actually missed it. He has 0 cards in the hand, so I guess it is... Oh, so it's Starheim Unleashed. So base... Oh, okay, so we need to go hard this turn. How much mana do we have? 11, 12 in total. 12 in total. So we have 11 outside of Hydra, so we can go 10, 10. 21, yeah. Let's go for a bit all in. Yep. We sacrifice the treasure as well, because I think next turn he makes a lot of angels, and this will be a problem, like a huge problem. Okay, good, because if he has Vanishing Verse... Oh man, he doesn't have cards in the hand. I'm such a dummy. I'm such a dummy. Oh man, but at least we closed the game, so I really didn't want to miss this one, because that was Starheim Unleashed, so next turn he would have a lot of like angels to block our creatures, and then we need to sacrifice like 3 creatures or something crazy like this. Alright, we are going second. With heavy removal hand, I think it's okay. We definitely need something like Yasharn into some heavy stuff, you know? But it's still fine. This is green, this is white. We have exactly the Apparition mana. Let's hope that we play against some creature deck. And that's definitely not a creature deck so far. Not extremely happy about this one. At least we have some ramp, so that's pretty good. Let's hope that enemy taps out so we can cast Yasharn with no issues, because that will be quite a bit of power for the board. And he doesn't. This is probably Saw It Coming. So I kinda hate how is it going so far. Like, we have full removal hand against control that has a counter spell already. Oh man. That is definitely a bit unfortunate. I don't think we cast it. Let's attack. Hope that he maybe reacts. There's no reason to react, but maybe he will. I'm pretty sure, like, what are the Dimir Fortel's card? It's just Saw It Coming, right? Maybe Multiverse. Alright, this thinking. Maybe he was thinking about Multiverse. Because then he would get new cards, and he was thinking, is there any scenario when I want to remove it? Okay, this got me thinking. Maybe it's not the Saw It Coming. Let's check. I still think it's probably Saw It Coming, but... Multiverse is also played. Oh man, not only this is Saw It Coming because he highlighted it, he wanted to use it at start, but then he decided, hey, I have the another one that is not foretold, why waste the mana? So now we know exactly what we are playing against. A full counterspell hand. And us with full removal hand against decks that don't play creatures. We of course don't play anything, so we can Wandering Emperor. I still think it's a Saw It Coming. Sure. We take the planes. We don't have really any play for the 5 mana, but you know, we will do the trick to show that we can. That we are just such amazing player that we know this amazing trick. Enemy is tapped out, so it won't matter. Well, yeah, no point in doing this. We cannot even blink and Emperor, so there's no really upside. Problem is, if we cast the Emperor, we have nothing more. And right now we are both drawing cards from the top and nothing is going on really. Let's play the tapped land, I guess. This is just one of the most horrible games we have played. This is exactly like we basically have one card in the hand. And he has one card that prevents any card from working, so it's just the worst fit. And the problem is we have zero pressure on the board. And if we just both keep drawing cards for the next 7 turns, he wins. Because his deck is control. So we need to hope that he taps out at some point and makes a mistake. Otherwise I don't think how we can win without drawing good part of the deck. Hopefully something is played this turn. No, he's smart. And normally you play the Emperor at the end step, they counter it, and then you follow up main phase with a threat. Problem is we don't have other cards in the hand except Emperor. We will still play it, he will counter it. It might even be Juari, but he shouldn't play them in Esper deck. What?
Now you've
That's strange.
Hat's coming off.
Like, I don't think it's multiverse because he never used it at the end step. That's so weird. Alright, we go like this, so he needs to sweep. All the sweepers are sorcery speed, so then he taps out. That's weird. Alright, and we might blink our Innkeeper just to get the treasure, because it makes sure that we can storm the festival next turn, and that's pretty huge. Especially if he casts any kind of sweeper, then we do it. What is this card? Is it Doomscar? Maybe he just... yeah, like, maybe it's Doomscar. It has to be, right? He would always counter the Emperor. It really looks like... it really looked like saw it coming throughout the game, but I guess it's a Doomscar. Alright, and that's pretty good for us. So we get this one going, we get additional treasure. He might go Vanishing Verse now, but he did not. And that's pretty fine. So we get the treasure, we get some creature in the board, and with Emperor it actually might matter. That's another Doomscar, okay. Good to know. Good to know. I think it's still Storm the Festival, it's just more power, and we can hit Chariots, Planewalkers, things like this. Yeah, all of them are amazing. Yeah, this is something we need. Especially because finally we can ramp with some mana. Nice. Alright, let's go for planes right now. Now we go for +1. He will cast Doomscar, so everything is dead, but we'll get the token. And we have another Emperor with -1. And of course, let's create a Spirit token. That's a pretty much pain. Like 6/6. He probably should remove it. But it means he taps out, we get some more lands, we play Esika's Chariot, we make the token. The life is good, you know? Okay, that's a nice one. It's so hard to outvalue this kind of deck after they get such a good start. Alright, so, again, until we hit stuff. Like, you will have to sweep every single turn, my friend. He has something. Is this the Black March? It might be the Black March. Okay, that was enough. Chariot, as always, carrying the game. That game was weird so much. Very strange start, and like he had 6 cards and Memory Deluge. I cannot believe he scooped.